Assalamu alaikum students. I'm your science teacher. Hope you all are doing well. Before moving to our topic, let's do a warm-up activity. In this activity, you have to choose one thing that you like. For example, would you choose between chai or a coffee? First, I will tell you my answer that what would I choose. I prefer chai over coffee. And you? Okay, you choose coffee. Cool. Next is for girls. Uh, Choose between mascara or lipstick. And I goes with mascara. Your turn. Okay, you choose lipstick. Okay. Another girl is saying mascara. Great. Hope you enjoy this game. Let's continue our topic that food chain. We have discussion about food chain detail in the previous module. Here we are only revising it. Food chain. A food chain is a path by which energy passes from one thing to the another one. For example, we have a chain that shown in this picture. In this food chain, the bush is the producer and the gazelle and the cheetah are the consumers. Always a plant is a producer and that will start a food chain. Here, gazelle will eat a bush and then food chain can sometimes be made up of more than two food consumers. The first consumer known as a primary consumer, second consumer is known as a secondary consumer, and the third one is known as the consumer. Here are the picture that shown different type of a consumer. First, the chain will be started from the producer, that is a grass. Then consumer will be divided into consumer, secondary consumer, and the tertiary consumer. So we will discuss about grasshopper. Grasshopper will eat grass, and it is the first one to eat the grass. That why it is known as a primary consumer. The second one is the pied fly that will eat grass. Then it is known as a secondary consumer. And the third one is a skunk that will eat pied fly catcher and known as a tertiary consumer. So, a grasshopper that will eat grass, known as a primary consumer. Then, pied flycatcher will eat grasshopper, that is known as a secondary consumer. And the skunk will eat the pied flycatcher, which is known as a tertiary consumer. We have discussed this detail in the previous lecture. Here we are only revising it. We have also discussion about the prey and the predator. So prey are the animals that is hunted and eaten by another animal is known as a prey, and the predator ones are the animals that hunts and feeds on the another animals is known as a predator. The example is the rhinoceros. Rhinoceros will eat tree, and the third one is the lion that will eat rhinoceros. So only here we are talking about the prey and the predator. So we will discuss about the animals. A rhinoceros and the lion. Rhinoceros will be hunted by the lion. So rhinoceros will be the prey and the hunter will be the lion. And the hunter will be the predator, and which is going to be hunted is known as the prey, that is rhinoceros in this food chain. Food web. A food web is made up of two or more food chains. These two chains can be combined into a food web. For example, in this picture, we have a food chain. Simple food chain is a a grasshopper that will eat grass, and the baboon will eat the grasshopper. And the second food chain is uh, grass. Grass will be eaten by the mouse. Then a mouse will be eaten by the cat, and then snake will eat cat, and the last one is baboon will eat the snake. So when combining these two food chains, it will make a food web. Here the third one is the food web. Why? Because grass is eaten by the grasshopper also, and mouse will also eat grass. And here same goes with the baboon, Baboon will also eat a grasshopper, or it can also eat snake. So when combining two or more than food chain, two is known as a food web. Today our topic is decomposes. So what happens when the living things die? When plants and animals die, they are broken down into the simpler substances by a group of organisms known as the decomposers. These substances are the nutrients for the plants, and the decomposers are the bacteria and the fungi. So bacteria and the fungi are the decomposers. When animal and plants die, they are broken down into the simpler substances by these bacteria and fungi. Okay, decomposers. Decomposers feed on the remain of the other animals. Decomposers play an important role in the ecosystem. By digesting dead matter, they put the nutrition back into the soil and making them available to producers. Okay, you have a example on page number 155. Um, Plants provided food for the rabbit. On page number 155, you have an example of rabbit, that the rabbits get energy by eating the lettuce, and then when a rabbit dies, it is broken down into simpler substances by the decomposers. As we have discussed, the decomposers are the bacteria and the fungi. So bacteria and fungi will break down the substances into the simpler substances and then return to the soil as a nutrition for the plants, and this is how the nutrients are being recycled. So the example shows that the rabbit first will eat the plant, that is the lettuce, and when they die, the nutrition gets from the decomposing rabbit is turned into the lettuce to grow into the ground. And here same goes with the recycling. Okay, then we have an amazing fact that scavengers are the animals which eat on the dead animals, and the plant scavengers which feeds on the dead animals includes crows and the vultures. These scavengers are able to eat the rotten meats without falling sick. Why? Because their stomach acids are very strong enough to digest the bacteria in the rotten meat. And scavengers will feed on the dead plants include termites and the earthworms. And scavengers are not the decomposers. Why? Because as they do not break down carcasses into the simpler substances, they merely help break down the dead organism into the simpler pieces for the decomposers to act on them more quickly. So basically scavengers are helping out to the breakdown of the dead organisms into the simpler pieces for the decomposers to act on more quickly. Here are the producer, consumers, and the decomposer. Producers are always be the plant. Consumers can be the herbivores, carnivores, and the omnivores. And it would be types have the primary, secondary, and the tertiary. Consumers are the types. And the third one we have discussed about in today topic is the decomposers. So earthworms, mushrooms, insects, bacteria are the decomposers. Why? Because when plants and animals die, they are broken down into the simplest substances by the organism, which is known as a decomposer. And these substances are the nutritions for the plants. Bacteria and fungi are the most commonly decomposers found in the soil. Hope you get it. Today topic. This is your homework. You have to do these questions in your copies, and your submission date is 20. Please do your homework, and before ending our video, let's watch a YouTube video to have a quick review or to have a better understanding of today's topic.
Have you ever had to take the garbage, right? But someone's got to do it. And we're not the only things that make waste. Trees drop their leaves, and animals drop, well, other stuff. So what happens to all that waste that's created in nature? It turns out that waste, as gross as it may seem, is actually a good source of energy for lots of different living things. Bacteria, some fungi, insects, and worms. These organisms, called decomposers, break down waste and the remains of dead plants and animals to get energy. The rest of us, because thanks to decomposers, there's a lot less waste and dead stuff lying around. Now, if you've been paying attention so far in our little talks here, you'll remember that all living things need energy to survive. Energy flows through a system of living things moving from plant to animal to other animals in a what-eats-what model called a food chain. We use food chains to see how energy flows between living things in an ecosystem. Living things too, and since they need energy to live, just like anybody else, they need a spot in the food chain. But where do decomposers fit in an ecosystem? So a simple little ecosystem to see where they might find a home. Plants like this apple tree are able to grab the energy that comes from the sun. They use this energy to take water, nutrients, and a little bit of gas from the air to create chemical energy. The tree stashes that energy in its fruit, which happens to be delicious. If an apple from that tree falls around and gets nibbled on by a mouse, some of the energy from the apple is going to be transferred to the mouse. It will be spotted up as an owl brunch, and the energy from that mouse will be transferred to the owl. Apple, mouse, owl. That's a simple enough food chain, right? Everyone has their place in it. The system works. But decomposers can live and work in more than one spot in this. It can show up any time there's waste to break down, like the leftover apple that the mouse didn't eat, or the owl's droppings. Decomposers break those things down into smaller parts, like nutrients and other chemicals. These chemicals go into the ground and are taken up by plants so they can use them to make more energy, and the process starts all over again. Not to get all Lion King on you, but I'm thinking that this really closes up the circle of life, right? And since we're talking about circles and cycles, let's recycle some of these ideas last time. Decomposers break down waste in an ecosystem into nutrients, and plants use those nutrients to make energy, and that energy goes up the food chain all over again. And like I mentioned before, decomposers don't just put energy back into the food chain, they also keep waste from piling up in an ecosystem. So while we might kind of forget that insects or worms or fungi are there, remember that we need them to clean up waste would completely mess up the nice balance that all living things have going on. Which, okay, yes, I guess means that I'll finally clean up my desk. Until next time.